and welcome to JC Transformation Strategies. Welcome to our Sunday upliftment. Thank you so much to everyone taking the time to join in today. I appreciate all the efforts of you. Also, to those who have just subscribed, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for joining. You will feel at home. All right, firstly, I just want to give a shout out to all those who have celebrated birthdays this past week, especially it was Mother's Day. Happy birthday to you guys, and I hope you had a wonderful time. And those who have lost loved ones, my deepest condolences to you. And also, well done for making it through this week, everyone. Be proud of yourself that you achieved to survive and to make it through in spite of everything. You need to look at your bills are paid, you have a roof over your head, you have food on your table. Basic things like that open doors for more gratitude from the universe, okay? So remember, when you appreciate small beginnings and small wins, it opens doors for bigger stuff, all right? And remember, being content with what you have is the key priority for living a content life, okay? Today, we're going to be touching on forgiveness. We did do confirmations, okay? Thursday, we did the coaching sessions, all right? We did coaching sessions on affirmations, and we looked at releasing like past hurts. We looked at how to move on to live into the present, because most of the time we are so stuck into the past. All right, we stuck with the hurts, we stuck with the rejection, we stuck with the depression of the past, and we need to get out of that, because that is not gonna like bring the peace in your mind. That's not going to bring the calmness in your mind. So you need to get out of it. You need to snap out of it, okay? So the whole thing is to rewire your brain into the present, and it's not that simple. It takes years of practice as well. But if you can do it like a couple of sessions, like as we do on a Thursday coaching, that will help you, that will heal you. Remember, there's no quick fix. You know what you've been through. It took like stages for you to be fixed up right now. It wasn't something that just one day you go to the doctor, you take medication and you fixed up. No, everything comes in procedures, everything comes in process, okay? Like diets, your lifestyle, etc. So it's important that you get into that process. So that is why I bring this to you. And Thursday, if you haven't watched, please go back, read over those affirmations, practice those affirmations, make sure you recite it at least twice a day. If you cannot, then you can do it either in the morning or in the afternoon. Recite it 3 times. You can close your eyes and do it. Powerful. Right, today we're going to be looking at forgiving but not reconciling. Okay, forgiving but not reconciling. Now, the reason why I say that is a lot of us, we've been through a lot, okay? Personally, we've been through a lot. We've been through the worst, okay? And we have also experienced words via text or via face to face. And the impact that it has left in us, the scars and those wounds are still there, especially if their name pops by. So if somebody mentions the name of somebody who hurted you really, really bad, and you feel that tightness in your chest, you feel your heart racing, you feel unsafe, your body even trembles, and that basically means that you need some healing. You need to come to terms of letting go of things. And that is why today's message is direct for you. So please do like, follow, and subscribe, and don't forget to share it out, especially to those who need this healing. Alright, so the first thing what we're going to do is we're going to get into a biblical scripture. Alright, so we're going to be reading from Colossians 3 verses 13. Alright, so it says here that make allowance for each other's faults and forgive anyone who offends you. Remember, the Lord forgave you so that you can forgive others. Right. Now, the Bible has so many scriptures regarding forgiveness, right? Even if you go to Psalms 51, I'm just going to quickly open to them. It talks about, have mercy on me, God, because of your unfailing love, because of your great compassion, blot out the stain of my sins. That basically is a prayer for forgiveness in Psalm 51. So the Bible tells us many scriptures. We thank God for His word. It opens up so much about forgiveness. And we know that forgiveness is really, really important. But to get to that step of forgiveness after you've been hurt a lot is not easy. Okay? But today we're going to look at maybe your heart is very, very closed up to forgiveness. And you've been holding this for many years, for many decades. All right? But it's slowly eating your way. So we have to bring it to the open for you to heal. Okay? So it's a good timing that you're watching this. Now, when you forgive, all right, but you don't reconcile, that means you don't have that relationship with that person again. That laughing, that joking, that vibes that you were together, there's nothing of that. That's a healthy boundary method. That's a very healthy boundary method. You forgive, but you don't rekindle anything. Okay, it's over. Now, the reason why we forgive is that we let go of anger, we let go of resentment, we let go of that bitterness, and it's for our own peace of mind. We're not really worried about the other people, we're not worried about the person who offended us. We are more concerned on our minds and the way we function. Okay? Forgiveness is something internal. It's an internal act that you do to let go, to free yourself, to set the captives free. Reconciliation. A lot of people, I think there's certain religious leaders as well, they talk about forgiveness and they talk about reconciling, but it's very uncomfortable for certain people because not everybody wants to reconcile to an abuser, to a murderer, or to somebody that actually ruined our lives for many years. No. So, reconciliation only comes through from mutual trust, where you trust the person that has changed and they trust you, and from a changed behavior. If the person is still bitter and the person still hurts you and the person still has something against you, I don't think it's fitting for you to reconcile. Okay? The whole idea is you notice the pattern, you notice how things are going. So if you have noticed a behavior that which is still the same, they don't appreciate you, they speak bad about you, but not direct to you, speak bad in other terms or whatever, then you know that this is not for me. God in the universe will not send people that's going to baffle your mind. God in the universe will not send people that is going to make you self-doubt or to show that you are unworthy. They won't do that, right? They will send people to you and you're going to discern, right? Miss A is okay in my journey. Miss B, she's not okay in my journey. Be it family or friends, okay? So don't feel that, hey, because this is my family and this and that, okay, so I need to reconcile. Or because this is my friend from high school, I know her for about 20 years, I need to reconcile. Okay? No, you don't need to. If you feel mutual trust is broken, if you feel change behavior is not there, that just means out. The reason why, for your mental peace and for you to have clarification in your life. You don't want to live a life of doubts. You don't want to live a life of chaos. All right, you want to live a life of peace. Okay, so forgiveness is for you. It's an emotional burden. It's an emotional bitterness. All right, reconciliation will take place between two people. And if you see there's no effort and you see that, hey, this person is still an emotional burden, I still feel weird about this person, I still feel troubled, I don't feel myself. If you don't feel yourself and you have to put a mask on every time you see this person, all right, you have to put this mask on and, pretend that you're smiling or pretend to not say the wrong words, then yeah, I'm sorry, that person is not for you. You got to take your mask off. I tell you the truth, I don't put my mask on for anyone. All right, because I've I've basically accepted certain people in my life, but once I've noticed that the behavior has not changed, the way the character of themselves, the reputation, it just hasn't been changed. I cannot put a mask and pretend to like someone. Okay, I cannot. Alright, I know I've been using a mask from that time. People know me with a mask, okay? Because since before jaw surgery, I was always with a mask, even up till now. Like, I make sure I always use my mask. But the truth is, I'm done using the mask, physically and even mentally. I'm done. I'm not going to use a mask and pretend that I excuse your behavior or that I excuse who you are. Who you are. Maybe you're a very violent person or you're short-tempered. I'm not going to put my mask on for you. No, that's how it should be. Don't put your mask on. Just be you. Alright? So if you've noticed that this person is not, it's not fitting for you to have them in your life now, you've been using this mask for long, take off that mask and don't reconcile. It's not meant, okay? So there's also another thing about forgiveness at a distance. Now, a lot of people don't know how to apply forgiveness at a distance, and I'm going to explain it to you, all right? Now, forgiveness at a distance basically means that you forgive the person, all right? Maybe you've spoken to them, you message them, or you've spoken like face to face, or whatever way of contact, and you wish them well. So you know this person hurt you. You say, right, I forgive you. I wish you well, all of the best in your future. All right. That basically means you're forgiving at a distance. All right. It also means that you are releasing that tension. You're wishing them well, which is really, really good. So you're not holding that grudge. You're not saying, right, I wish you bad. I hope that what you did will come back and haunt you. Things like that. Now, you wish them well, right? You be the good person. You be the person that you want others to treat you. All right. Um, but you don't allow them in your journey so that even they will know that, hey, you're not allowed back in my journey. Okay, that's it. We're done. All right, we are done. So that's how it works. So I've been there. I wished a lot of people well, and I said, right, this is it, and I'm done with you. Okay, because I don't want you back in my journey. I'm done. Okay, I've known and I've seen where you actually are placed in my life, and now I remove you from my life. Okay, the reason why is that that connection is gone, that trust is gone, that that vibe is gone. And remember, not everyone is going to be in your life's journey. So yeah, I just wish them well and just move on. And obviously you got to take safety precautions, like nobody's on your phone, not to be tempted and stuff like that, because you don't want to reconcile back to somebody who's repeatedly hurting you. So that's what it means with forgiving at a distance. So I've done some research, right? Even as a neuro life coach. So I've done some research about this topic, and I looked at unforgiveness, how it actually puts a strain on your body. Okay, and a lot of people won't tell you this. Unforgiveness also affects the way your brain operates. Okay, so we have the sympathetic and we have the parasympathetic. Now, the sympathetic is turned on. That's your SNS, sympathetic nervous system. It's turned on, which puts you into a fight or a flight mode, or even a frozen mode, right? But better explain more is on that fight and flight. So when you have chronic anger, which resulted from unforgiveness, that means every time you get startled, you get upset, you get angry at the way something triggers you back to that past event of that person and that unforgiveness, then that puts your sympathetic nervous system on, and then your amygdala basically is a part of your brain that literally looks for threats. It looks around and it feels unsafe because it remembers that once upon a time this person hurted me, so I have to protect my body now. I have to protect my breathing. So what happens now? You'll notice your breathing changes. Okay, So when everything is spiked up in your body, your cortisol levels are so high and stuff like that, your breathing gets heavy. All right, that unforgiveness that you've been carrying, you don't know that you know what you've been carrying, this unforgiveness and how it affects you. So you notice your breathing gets heavy. So somebody's talking about, let's say, I'm gonna give a very frank example, very blunt answers. Okay, there's nobody who is my enemy with this answer. Okay, so let's say somebody's name is Thomas. Okay, and this person by the name of Thomas, um whenever I hear the conversation, when people around me are talking about Thomas, I'm like, I'm breathing fast and I can feel it's beating fast. Okay, my breathing is getting heavy, heavy. I'm even feeling scared. I feel even my hands are even like shaking. I'm trembling. All right. Basically, that means is that your part of your brain has been turned on as an alarm system. It's not comfortable hearing the name because immediately it's linking to past events of how this person hurted me so bad, how this person rejected me and stuff like that. So basically, that puts you on a fight or a flight mode because you are absolutely shaken by the mention of that name. Okay, it's normal, guys, it's completely normal. But what happens is that when it's repeated into you, guys, what happens is it leads to depression. Mm. It leads to anxiety, it leads to heart diseases, and guess what, it even leads to diabetes. I was just doing the research about that. Now forgiveness calms your stress levels, which leads to improved health. So, when you are constantly in a state of stress, when you are constantly in a state of unforgiveness, and you will know it when the person's name is mentioned, and you've noticed your body how it's reacting, it just comes from that place because you haven't let go. And it's time for you to let go of that person. It's time for you to move on now. All right. And we're going to be looking at how we're going to get into some healing tips about it. um, and it's so important because I've been there, guys. I personally been there, and that's why it's a topic that I can relate to. There were a lot of people who personally I didn't feel comfortable with. I didn't vibe with. I was hurted. I was rejected. The words that were said was very hurtful. And guess what? It doesn't even come out from your enemies. It comes out from your closest. Okay. But at the end of the day, I looked at the situation, right? And it took time. It took a lot of time. I came back into reality and I stepped back and I stopped reaching out to people. I stopped giving my attention to people and I gave my attention to myself. And then when I started doing coaching and I started getting information from different sources, all right, I looked at calming meditation, I looked at the Bible, I looked at Buddha teachings, I looked at a whole thing holistically, and I realized that where am I sitting at the moment? And I decided to let go. Okay, and it took time because the rejections was coming and coming, and people were speaking back, and the only way they'll get you is through your phone, which I even limited contact. So I literally came to a point where I looked at two sides as well. So I started going for counseling to a psychologist who actually opened my eyes to the truth. And I looked at, I mean, he said to me, really good counselor here in my area. And he said to me, you know what, if you want to have a relationship with even a family or a friend, you need to look at, will you marry this person if this person had this type of character? Will you invite a person like that in your life who's bitter, anger, and whatever? And then I said no. And then I came to a present point that, you know what, I need to stop this. I'm hurting myself, I'm abandoning myself. I started doing grounding techniques. I started forgiving myself first and then I forgive others as well. I started moving in the present. I started not allowing words to affect me because I know I'm powerful, I'm beautiful, I'm gorgeous. All right. So remember, guys, I'm coming out of bullying and a lot of self-esteem issues. I wasn't assured that I'm beautiful. I wasn't assured that I'm valid in this world. I had to hear it from me that I'm valid. And it took time. It took time. And it took a lot of teachings to be where I am. And after I started that, I started dreaming better. I started equipping myself better. And I won't say my life is 100% perfect because nobody is. I've noticed that rejection does come, but from people who's insecure. All right. People will say bad things because they go into a tough time. They go into hardships. They go into diseases and illness and etc. And hungry, all right, and money issues. And they bring that on you. And that's why they speak the way that they speak. But today, as the message is even said, it's about forgiving. It's about letting go. Not for them, but for you. All right, it's for you. Remember that, and you don't need to reconcile with them. No, I haven't reconciled with anybody who I have forgiven. I have forgiven people at a distance. I have forgiven people. I do pray, but I don't reconcile. I move on. I even forget who they are. So that's how it must be. All right, just forget even that they exist and just think about you existing presently, which is so important. So, guys, we're gonna wrap up with meditation and affirmations. And I want to say that I don't know, maybe you're holding this unforgiveness for so long, but I want you to release it, okay? I don't want you to reconcile and accept the behavior of them and say, like, you know what, because they like this and that's why I must forgive them and let them in your life and let them walk over you. No, I want you to forgive them. Do accept has, like, you know what, this is a narcissistic behavior, this is an abusive behavior, this is a bipolar behavior, but don't reconcile unless it's safe to do so. If you feel that you can trust them, if you feel that you've noticed a change behavior, then you can. But if you've noticed that repeated actions, people don't change in a hurry. Please, they don't. All right, it takes a lot. People need to go to therapy to change, to tell you the truth. If people are not going to therapy, they won't change. Trust me, guys, they won't. Okay, so if you met these people, you have these people, I want you to even delete conversations of all that. Get all that energy off your phone. Even I'm also doing that, trust me. All right, we're gonna do a meditation, then we're gonna wrap up, okay? So today what you're gonna do is you're gonna close your eyes. You're gonna be in a comfortable position. Your posture is gonna be upright, and you're gonna take a deep breath in the count of 4. You're gonna hold for 5. You're gonna release for 6. Okay? It's a 4-5-6 method. I'm JesC. Okay. So in the count of 4, you're gonna hold right for 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a deep breath in. Right, hold that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you're going to release for 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Well done. Now, I want you to repeat after me. I remove myself. Please place your hand on your chest. From situations that was holding me back into unforgiveness. I remove myself from situations that was holding me back from forgiveness. I'm removing myself from situations that was holding me back from forgiveness. And then I want you always to remember this, right? Thank you guys for cooperating. And to remember that you have forgiven yourself. If you did Thursday's coaching, you have already forgiven yourself. Alright? Because Thursday's coaching is linked to today. Whenever a situation comes, alright, you need to repeat this. That you're removing yourself from situations that was linked to that unforgiveness. Okay? Now, what I want you to do is you're going to exhale right now. Okay? Just to let go of tension. And you are going to say, I am free. I am free. I am free. One more time, I am free. Raise your hands up and say, I am free. Now, this declaration is for you to know that you are set free. Okay? You are no more bounded by your past. It's going to be fun. Now, every time, I'm going to give you a tip. When the mention of a name triggers you, or something about a person triggers you, you need to apply grounding techniques. Okay? You need to say, let's say now the name Thomas came up and you feel really, really triggered. So you're going to apply grounding techniques. You're going to say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Obviously now people will think like, what is this person really saying? And we are talking about Thomas here and what Thomas did and everything like that, and how can you talk like this? And you're saying 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Basically it's just to rewire your mind, to go back to present. Okay, to go back to the present, because you want to get stuck with the past. Yes, I know Thomas is bad, but I can't do anything about that. I accept his behavior, but I have no dealings with him. Okay, Thomas is not going to bring my peace. I need to bring my peace. Okay, so when that name is mentioned, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Even if you have to say in your mind, all right, nobody will know what you can say, but you know. Okay, that's one of the techniques. It's a very powerful technique. It's to reset the vagus nerve and to reset your central nervous system to come back to the present. All right, I'm also practicing. Trust me, I am. Okay, but yeah. So, guys, I hope you guys are blessed. Please release forgiveness. It will help you. You won't be living with heart tension. You won't be living with diabetes. You won't be living with high blood pressure. It's just for forgiveness. That's it. All right. You don't need to reconcile to anyone. You don't need to. Okay. Thank you so much for joining. Stay tuned to JesC Transformation and have a blessed week ahead. Please do have a blessed week. I know it's like so many things that's happening, but stay focused, stay present where you are. Don't be, like tossed with the wind, tossed with the waves. All right. Just be you. Be your authentic self. Bye, guys. Take care.